Hi, welcome to my video on fractions with complex numbers. This is an extra topic that I just threw in to expand your skill in working with the math. Simplify each as a plus bi. So that means we're adding two fractions, so we need an LCD, and the LCD for 4 and 3 is 12. So you multiply the first one by 3 over 3. You multiply the second one by 4 over 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2i is 6i. Add on. 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times negative 3i is negative 12i. And the common denominator is 12. So we'll add these two binomials together. Like terms, 9 and 4 is 13. And 6i subtract 12i is negative 6i. And that gives us 13 over 12 minus 6 over 12i, which is 13 over 12 minus 6, and the 6 goes once, 6 and the 12 goes 2. That gives us a half I. Number 2, we're multiplying two fractions. So what we'll do is we'll multiply the denominators. So 2 times 3 gives us 6. And notice we cannot cancel. When you multiply fractions, most times you can cancel from numerator to denominator anywhere, but we can't here. So we have to do a FOIL on these two. So 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times I is 1i. Negative I times 2 is negative 2i. And negative I times I is negative I squared. And that gives us 6 is the common denominator. Or 6 is the denominator, not a common denominator. So I get a 2. I'm going to add these together. So 1 subtract 2 is the negative I. And the negative of I squared is the negative. I squared is negative 1. So that makes it plus 1. So 6 is the denominator. And I add 2 and 1 makes 3 minus I. So that gives me 3 over 6 minus 1 over 6i. And 3 over 6 reduces to a half. So I get a half minus 1/6i. And in PEMDAS, PEMDAS, I have to multiply the inside of the brackets are fully simplified. I can't simplify the inside of these. I have no exponents, and I have to multiply this one and this one first before I subtract. And when I'm multiplying fractions, if I can, 2 can cancel, 1 and 1. So that gives me 3i over 5 minus the 2 cancels into the 4 twice. So that gives me 2i times 1 is 2i over 3 times 1 is 3. The LCD, I'm going to add these together. So I need an LCD, which is 15. So I multiply this fraction by 3 over 3. Multiply this one by 5 over 5. 15. And 3 times 3i is 9i. 3 times 5 is 15. 2i times 5 is 10i. And because they have the same denominators, I'm going to keep the denominator and add. And 9i subtract 10i. Well, I'm subtracting, so if I want, I can add on the opposite here. And that gives me negative I. So the answer is the negative 1 over 15i. And number 4, I'm adding two fractions that have the measuring numbers in the denominator. So I have to remove. What I do is I simplify each of these fractions first. So I multiply this one by a negative 2i and a negative 2i. The conjugate of 2i is negative 2i. The conjugate of 3i is negative 3i. So I multiply by the conjugates. So that gives me a negative 2i. Negative 2i times 1 is negative 2i. Negative 2i times 2i is a negative 4i squared. Add. And I get 3i times negative 3i is a negative 9i squared. 5 times negative 3i is a negative 15i. I simplify the denominators, and that's negative 4 times negative 1, which is 4. And a negative 9 times I squared is negative 1, so that's a 9. That's a negative 15i. And again, if I can reduce these fractions, I can go with a common denominator of 36, but right now, these fractions can reduce, so that's a negative 1/2 I minus 3 into 15 goes 5i and 3. So if I reduce these fractions, I get smaller denominators. Now the LCD for both of these, LCD is 6. So I multiply this fraction by 2 over 2, and I multiply this fraction by 3 over 3. That gives me a 6. And we're multiplying now. So 3 times negative 1 is negative 3i. Subtract. 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 5i is 10i. And notice now that's a 10. So we're subtracting. So when we subtract, we add on the opposite. So common denominator is 6. So 3i, add on negative 10i is negative 13i. And so you can let it stay like that, or you could write it as negative 13 over 6i. Your choice. Either one will work. But again, just an extra problem to do with complex numbers when you have fractions, just to improve your math skills. And that brings us to the end of the video. If you like my video, click the like button, subscribe button, and the notification bell, because there are more videos coming. Visit my website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content that's on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.